More seasonable temperatures are on the way for the final day of 2019. I'll have your forecast now at 5:30.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. With less than 2 days left in 2019, state police are reporting the lowest numbers of highway fatalities since 2014. After a major increase in 2016, fatal crashes are on a steady decline. Shelby Smithson talked to Kentucky State Police about those numbers and what they believe is contributing to the decrease.
Kentucky State Police track every deadly crash that happens here in the Bluegrass. And though we haven't quite made it to 2020, the numbers on record right now seem to be the lowest in 5 years.
It's encouraging to see that the traffic fatalities are coming down.
According to the Kentucky State Police annual reports, there have been 711 highway fatalities this year up to December 30th. That's down just slightly from the previous year's 713 and well below 2017, 2016, and 2015.
I think just by eliminating one increases safety for a lot of our motorists.
Trooper Hall contributing the slowdown to drivers obeying the law and troopers being more vigilant enforcing it.
Stepping up enforcement, whether it's driving aggressive, seatbelt usage, speed, and driving impaired.
Working with the Office of Highway Safety to publicize safe driving campaigns like Click It or Ticket, KSP plans to continue targeting reckless habits in the hopes of seeing less wrecks.
One fatality within our state is just one too many.
With the New Year's Eve holiday, KSP reminds drivers they'll be out in full force focusing on impaired driving. So drive sober or get pulled over. In Richmond, Shelby Smithson, WKYT.
Now, earlier this year, Perry County was actually leading the state for fatal crashes.
Well, guys, we started off cloudy today, but that sunshine came back heading into the afternoon, and now we are looking at clear skies as we head into the evening. Gorgeous sunrise outside right now. You can see beautiful clear skies on top of Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County, and we're seeing clear skies throughout the entire region as well. Temperatures in the 50s for a lot of us, but falling quickly, especially now that the sun is setting. Very chilly heading towards Lexington, only in the mid 40s, and cooler temperatures are on the way for us. Satellite and radar showing clear skies for most of us, but a few clouds just off to our west. Those clouds are going to continue to move eastward and move in for the night and providing a stray rain chance, but I do think most of us stay dry. We're just going to see those partly to mostly cloudy skies later on, mainly past midnight. Temperatures getting pretty chilly as well. We're going to see those winds continue to gust. I'll have details on your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day forecast here in just a little bit, Steve.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Kentucky continues to prepare for their matchup with Virginia Tech in the Belk Bowl tomorrow at noon. WYMT's Will Puckett joins us now live from Charlotte with more on how the Cats feel heading into tomorrow's matchup with the Hokies. William?
Steve, they're feeling confident when they walked past the trophy at Media Day. We all asked them to take a picture, and Cash Daniel turned to the media and said, "No, we'll take a picture with it tomorrow." Like you said, both teams previewed that matchup taking place at noon on ESPN. But most of Kentucky players, they weren't talking X's and O's necessarily. They were more looking back at what this senior class has accomplished at UK and what some of their highlights have been in their time in blue and white.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was looking back the other, 2 weeks ago and was thinking I've had some great, times here at UK, and I would say my best was just beating Florida in the Swamp, breaking that record and giving Coach Schlarman that game ball. It just meant the world to me. It was by far my best memory as a Wildcat.
I think that that Florida game rather is going to be a game that sticks with a lot of Kentucky fans, not just the seniors, for years to come. Are they going to build more memories? We're going to have to wait and find that out tomorrow when they take on the Hokies again at noon. Steve will have more coming up at 6 in News and Sports, but I'll send it back to you for now.
All right, Will, thank you. The Belk Bowl kicks off tomorrow at noon, but tonight, join us for the Belk Bowl Bring It. It's a 1-hour pregame special from Charlotte. That's tonight at 7 instead of Issues and Answers here on WYMT. Some scary moments in the skies for the University of Kansas men's basketball team. A plane carrying the Jayhawks had to make an emergency landing due to engine failure. The plane had just taken off from San Jose, California yesterday when one of the engines failed about 20 minutes into the flight. One of the school's athletics directors tweeted this video of what appears to be sparks coming from under one of the plane's wings. The pilot was able to land back in San Jose safely. A Texas community is mourning the loss of 2 people after a shooting inside a church. A live stream video captured the shooting in White Settlement, Texas. It shows the gunman pull a shotgun from his pants and shoot 2 parishioners in the corner of the church. An armed parishioner, part of the church's security team, shot and killed the attacker almost immediately. Investigators are not releasing the gunman's name and have not yet determined a motive. Coming up at 6, hear how some churches in Kentucky are tightening security. After years in the making, a new coffee shop opened today in Harlan. While they would have been happy with their goal of 30 cups of coffee today, they nearly tripled those numbers on day 1. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to owners that said while it took some time to get to their opening day, they felt it was meant to happen.
A packed house. A problem that is welcomed at Moonbow Tipple.
The Lord's blessed us with double the numbers already, and it's not even 1 o'clock, so I can only imagine what it is by the time we close at 5 o'clock today.
If you ask Sky Marietta, it's a blessing.
So many beautiful moments here that really feels like it's part of something bigger than ourselves.
The Mariettas are passionate about coffee, but that's not why they opened up Moonbow Tipple.
In Harlan, I mean, you have a limited number of restaurants, and you don't just go there to hang out. So I was just happy to have somewhere to go and hang out and do homework or work or study or research or whatever I needed to do.
It brings smiles to those on both sides of the counter.
The way you really lift people up is you create dignified, stable jobs with a living wage and something that's exciting and feels like you're connected with something.
If they happen to need a coffee break,
It was pretty good. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
there's no better place to take one. In Harlan County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
The shop had more than 100 people come in and went through a week's worth of supplies. Longtime Congressman John Lewis says he has advanced pancreatic cancer. The 79-year-old Democrat is vowing to keep serving while he fights the disease. Lewis said in a statement he may miss some votes while undergoing treatment in Washington. The civil rights icon has been serving in Congress since 1986. Lewis said his doctors told him with recent medical advances, he has a fighting chance. Final preparations are underway to ring in 2020 in New York's Times Square. Crews put the finishing touches on that iconic ball. They are installing new Waterford crystals. More than 2,600 crystal triangles make up the ball, which is 12 feet in diameter and weighs nearly 1,200 pounds. This year's design celebrates the gift of goodwill.
Goodwill is all about benevolence, it's all about generosity, it's all about good fortune, it's all about reaching out to your fellow man. So this year is all about looking forward, celebrating a new year and a brand new decade.
More than 1 billion people will be watching as the ball drops in Times Square. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the female veteran suicide rate is staggeringly high, according to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Hear how female veterans are finding ways to help their own.
Well, we have gone from above average temperatures to temperatures are more seasonal for this time of year. I will have your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day forecast coming up.
A Pikeville police officer who died nearly 100 years ago now has his name etched on the National Law Enforcement Memorial. Coming up, I'm Marianne Fletcher, and I'll have the details.